If you are here and watching this video, you have taken an enormous first step into taking control of your own mind. You have chosen to place financial, monetary value on changing your life. This is the inaugural video that I had promised to do on Patreon. What we are going to be discussing today is cognitive dissonance. It is the fundamental concept that anybody who is going to engage in psychological operations is going to have to grasp. Why people believe what they believe, and what happens when those beliefs are challenged. Mental conflict that occurs when beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information. The concept was introduced by the psychologist Leon Festinger in 1919. In the late 1950s, he and later researchers showed that when confronted with challenging new information, most people seek to preserve their current understanding of the world by rejecting, explaining away, or avoiding the new information, or by convincing themselves that no conflict really exists. Cognitive dissonance is nonetheless considered an explanation for attitude change. In interrogation, in a setting when you have somebody that you are attempting to extract information from and they are fighting against you tooth and nail, they have a certain set of beliefs in their mind that are giving them the basic, fundamental superstructure for their resistance. Instead of challenging that superstructure directly, what you need to do is start to get into the underpinnings of it. And you need to start thinking about why they are believing what they're believing and challenge those things. Inherited beliefs are also what they call trained beliefs. Things that we are taught in SEER training in the military. Things that honor and duty and integrity and the protection of our troops and the relationships that we've made with the people in our units that are going to drive our ability to resist turning over information. When you're attempting to extract information, however, you need to challenge those beliefs and get the person that you're interrogating or running psychological operations against to the point where they're angry. That's actually a good thing because they've hit the cognitive dissonance stage. And it's only a very short time after that that you will be able to get them where you need them to reveal what you needed revealed. This is their first stop. They are going to see you as the enemy all the way up into the point where seeing you as the enemy becomes more of a problem for them personally than just agreeing to the new state of reality. For them, in the initial stages, resisting is going to make them feel like they are on the right train, but eventually you have to get them to the point where they feel like resisting makes them an outsider and makes them not part of the solution to their problems. We see this on both the left and the right. And the three individuals pictured on the right have had a very good command of this phenomenon and dynamic. You have this group of people over here to our left that are operating from an emotional-based state where everything they want and everything they believe to be true and right is only based on how they feel about it, not what they think about it. And then you have this group of people here that the only way they can deal with this perceived injustice or unrighteousness is to go to government to fix it, or the military-industrial complex, or big business. that these are the places that they go, and they've been trained to go, to be the solutions for all of their problems. It was one of the reasons the terrorists who attacked us on 9/11 picked the 911 phenomenon. Because if you think about it, that's what Americans have been trained to do. Anytime there's a fire at your house, you call 911. If you have a sickness or somebody's fallen ill, you call 911. If you've been in a car accident, any problem in this country, the entire populace has been psychologically manipulated to turn to the government. Without 911, our society would fall apart. Without the ability to call a government fixer, there would be no civil society. People don't see it because it's too big of a thing. It's too big of a picture to look back on. It's in their subconscious, drilled from the time they're children. That's why they teach young children how to call 911. They want you to believe something that isn't true, that you do not have the power to control your life. That when bad things happen, the only solution is big business, insurance, big government, everything else, or threats from abroad, the military. How people deal with it ends up pushing them into their lizard brain. Compartmentalization, an unconscious psychological defense mechanism used to avoid cognitive dissonance, or the mental discomfort and anxiety caused by a person's having conflicting values, cognitions, emotions, beliefs within themselves. Compartmentalization allows these conflicting ideas to coexist by inhibiting direct or explicit acknowledgement and interaction between separate, compartmentalized self-states. I know that's a lot of long words. What that basically means is this. It will also almost be as if you're in a multiple personality disorder state. That around a certain group of people, you will act a certain way and acknowledge certain truths in your life. Around a different group of people, you'll act a different way. A good example is your family versus your social life. If you have a group of people that you are around socially that are racist and that are very, very intolerant of other people, you will freely use racist slurs and tell racist jokes and feel good in that group. But if you get around your children and their grandparents and their children, you'll become somebody different. You might even be yet another person around your loved one, around the mother of those children, because you would be in somewhere in the middle. There is a way out, though. You can change your understanding of things without feeling like you have abandoned a principle or abandoned a way of belief that you think is going to cause change in your life for the better. It's a very hard thing to do, to look in the mirror and realize the biggest problem in your life is yourself. But if you're ever going to have the ability to influence other people and to get people to think in a way that you want them to think and to run psychological operations, you're going to have to understand your own limitations and your own cognitive dissonance. We're going to leave with this one truth that is one of the biggest cognitive dissonant states going on right now. All of these quotes are absolutely true. But as we've seen, if you would ask this man's supporters about pro-choice things, about healthcare things, about immigration things, about Hillary, they would see him as contradicting all of those points, when he has, in the past, been very much for all of those things. This is our first video. In 10 minutes, I'm going to leave it there. Understanding cognitive dissonance. Understanding what happens in your own mind and the minds of others when the emotional state that you've been pushed into by people who want you to hate and think emotionally is contradicted by new factual information. Thank you, everyone who has contributed and become a patron and has decided to become part of this series. We're going to go down a road, and we're going to come out better on the other side of it, more capable. And as we become more capable, we will go up in levels, difference clearance levels, to get up to actual operational psychological operators. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Florida Maki out.